Hey you guys, welcome back to Rebuilding a Kick-Ass Life, which I feel like I have not been doing a very good job of as of lately, but I'm starting to turn the corner on that, and I am here to go back to doing videos that are inspiring, motivating, and encouraging, and even empowering. And so I've had a really rough year. Probably the last few months have been the roughest. And if you've seen my other videos, you'll know why. But I'm back to trying to be that inspirational person that I wrote a book about, and wanted to be sort of somebody that you can look at that has been through the ringer and offers you some hope. And if you're going through or have gone through a similar experience as I have, then I don't want you to feel like it's hopeless and helpless, because it's not a hopeless or helpless situation. So first of all, I at 50 was divorced for the second time, and at that time I pretty much gave up everything. And when I mean everything, I was in a very financially privileged life. As an outsider looking in, you would think that I had everything that society says you need in order to be happy. I had multiple vacation homes. I'm from Canada. We had a beautiful home in Canada. We had a lake house in the Muskokas. We had 2 vacation properties in Florida, a Mercedes, a BMW, a Porsche, a vintage car in Florida. All my kids had their own cars. I gave all that up. I have nothing left. Actually, that's not true. I still have my Mercedes, which is probably now about 12 years old. And so I'm here to say that stuff does not make you happy, although I'm surrounded by stuff right now. Lots of stuff. I'm in my basement. I feel like I have found the perfect place to film my videos. It's nice and quiet down here, except for the furnace. Can you hear the furnace? Let me know if you can hear the furnace. I've got a house full of animals, 3 dogs, 2 cats, and I'm actually down here right now packing for a staging job. That's why I have all this stuff around me. After my divorce, I became I started my own business as a stager. I started my own business with a friend. I asked a friend if she wanted to partner up. And we've been doing that for about 9 years. And then in the summertime, we closed down that business. I was going to go in a different direction with work. I felt like with AI coming in and virtual staging and just the way the market was, that I felt like I needed to pivot. And then coincidentally enough, I was on vacation in Borneo, Malaysia, and I met someone who presented an opportunity to me to go in a different direction with work, which I thought I was going to do. And as it turns out, funny enough, once we shut down the business, I started getting a ton of calls for staging. And I thought, okay, what am I doing? Like staging, interior decorating, fashion. I worked for L'Oreal in the beauty industry for over 20 years, from my 20s to my mid 40s. That is sort of my passion. That is what I love to do. And so I just decided recently that I would go out on my own. And so I'm in my basement. I carry and have a lot of my things in my basement. I live on the beach, so we can't use our basements because of the water table. So I've sort of set up shop down here with accessories, cushions, linens, just soft goods that if I do have a staging job, and it doesn't require a lot of the big things, which I have in a different in like storage. If it doesn't require like the big items, tables, sofas, whatever, then I keep most of it in my basement because it's easy access and I can just pack it all up and come down here and get that done. So this is why I'm surrounded by stuff. But the point to my video today is that, sorry, gosh, I don't know what's going on. That stuff does not make you happy. That relationships, community, mutual respect, being in a loving, supportive relationship, loyalty, honesty, being felt like you're heard and you're seen, living life authentically. All those things are the things that really do make you happy. And I can attest to that because I've been on both sides. And so the video today is going to really be about what it's really like being on your own, being on your own or being alone, approaching 60. And the reason why I'm doing the video today is because I was scrolling through YouTube and I found so many videos of this exact content. And it would seem to me from the videos I've watched and from the podcasts I've listened to that this is really sort of starting to become a trend, that there's less and less people coupling up, less and less people getting married, less and less people having families. And this is becoming really something that I'm seeing more of. And no, I'm not saying it's a good thing, although I can tell you that having been on both sides and now having been alone for almost 10 years, I have not dated in 10 years. 10 years! No dates. Totally celibate. And by choice, more than anything. Have had opportunities have presented themselves, and I've really not been that interested. And quite frankly, I've been kind of disappointed in sort of what is out there. And that's a whole other video. But I can honestly tell you, and I did see one video of a woman that said that she's so lonely and she never would have gotten divorced had she known the struggles. And I guess it's hard for me to understand that, because being lonely or being alone was not something that I ever really struggled with or that I thought about. For me, my big thing was always finances. Like, I don't know why I have this irrational thought of being financially destitute. And it is really irrational, because I've always been able and managed to be on my own and do well financially. My parents were immigrants from Portugal, and from the age of 14 I've been working and have been super resourceful and have figured out a way to take care of myself. And so it's a real irrational thought, and I feel like that irrational thought has really been more prevalent ever since I was in a relationship, in my second marriage, that had a lot of stuff and a lot of money. And all of a sudden, money became an issue, or money became something that was on my mind a lot. And I really never worried about money or worried about finances until that, which is interesting psychologically. I don't know, maybe when you have a lot of money, you are worried about losing it all, because I never ever really had a lot of money or had a lot of financial privilege until this marriage that I was in for 15 years. And I feel like when I was in that marriage, first of all, I lost control of the money. So I had no access to the money, and I had no, I didn't work for 10 years in that marriage. So maybe that's what it was. It's an interesting concept to really look into, and maybe I need some therapy on that, because never ever had I worried about money. I'd always had a good job. I worked for L'Oreal for over 20 years. It was such an amazing job. I traveled to Paris. That's where head office was. I loved it. And then I found myself in a position where I didn't have to worry about money, and all I did was worry about money. And I wonder if that's because I lost control. I no longer had control of the finances and had control of what was coming in, what was going out. Anyway, now I'm digressing. But what I can tell you, that living alone now for the past 10 years without the stuff, like I said, gave up everything, all the cars, all the vacation properties, all the everything. I left that marriage with enough money to buy my own home, and that's it, no support. And so I bought a pretty modest home in comparison to what I had before. But let me tell you, and I wrote some of these things down because I wanted to really not forget the things that I wanted to talk about today. And let me tell you that after leaving that marriage and being on my own for 10 years, bar none, the most significant thing that has happened in my life is having complete peace. I have complete peace in my life, and I am genuinely 100% authentically myself. I don't have to walk on eggshells anymore. I can be myself, my true self, all the time without having to put on any airs of who I'm pretending to be or I'm pretending to be happy. And I bought into the whole thing of, um, wearing designer clothes all the time, only buying things with labels, which, by the way, I'm talking about that. I have some things down here I want to show you that I've just purchased recently, drugstore items that I'm loving, and I want to share them with you. So that's really changed for me. I used to I just bought into the whole thing of consumerism, and a label is better than a Walmart item or whatever. And I've completely changed that as well. So I'm much, much happier in terms of having a peaceful existence, not walking on eggshells, being authentically who I am at all times, not trying to please anyone, not having to take care of anyone. And I'm really enjoying being on my own. I am not ever, and I can genuinely say this and mean it, really genuinely mean it, I'm never lonely, ever. Sometimes do I wish I had a partner or someone to, I don't know, bounce ideas off of, or just have that support, or yeah, sometimes I do. But what I've learned is that by building my community and really nurturing my friendships, which have changed since my divorce, I don't feel lonely. I have a travel buddy that I travel with. She's amazing. And I travel a lot. I never feel like I am missing out. I'm at a point in my life now where I'm quite content to be in my home that is so peaceful and beautiful, and I have it exactly as I want it. That I don't know if this is like a trend that's going on. I specifically know that gray divorce is on the rise. That's when people are getting divorced at 50 or older. And I do know that the nuclear family as it used to be, or the traditional life with being married, is on the decline. I do know that. I don't know why that is. And there are some people that don't like it. I think I started saying, I was watching a YouTube channel where this woman was just so pessimistic about being on her own and being alone and approaching old age, and she didn't like it, and she was really suffering with it. And I feel for her if she feels like that. I really do. Or for anybody that feels that way. I really urge, if you feel like that, urge you to find community. That is the single most important thing. Find people that you can relate to. Nurture your friendships, the ones that you really trust and you really gravitate to, because I can tell you that just by having my family and my community, I never feel alone. So here are some of the positives that I wrote down for my life, specifically for being alone. There's no one else to answer to. And what I mean by that is, and I know some of you are like, well, I don't answer to my spouse, or I don't answer to my husband, but there's just no one else to consider when you want to make a decision. I can make decisions relatively quickly, and I can make decisions that I only have to think about myself in that decision-making process. So, and I remember being married, having to always ask for permission, and I know a lot of you don't do that, but I was in a very toxic relationship. I felt like I had to ask for permission, ask for money, and it is so liberating to just be self-sufficient and not have to ask for permission or rely on anyone else. It feels really good, and it feels really empowering for me. I talked about this already. I'm in complete peace at all times. I never have to worry about there being a chaotic scene in my home, or police being called to my home, or which happened, or just, I'm just always at peace. I never have to worry that it's going to just blow up at a moment's notice. So having that peace of mind is priceless. Spending my money how I want, when I want. So again, I didn't have that for so long. So I'm very good with my finances, but I also like the fact that it's my money, I've earned it, and I don't need to check with anyone else if I want to buy, I don't know, a couch or whatever. Not that I even spend money on things anymore, because I really don't. I spend money on inventory, obviously for my business, it's my livelihood. But I don't really buy anything that I don't need anymore. It used to be that I would change out my bedroom all the time or change out my decor from fall to summer. I don't really do that anymore. I've just really am sort of like, my friends make fun of me because I can tell them I'm on a buying freeze all the time. And I really am. And that's how I've been able to be okay on my own and be financially okay and not really worry that much about the finances. Because I spend my money how I want. No one else to worry about. It's enough that I have to worry about my parents, worry about my kids, and then worry about friends that are my age, approaching 60, and that are being diagnosed with cancer, lupus, MS. So that's enough for me to worry about without having to worry about a partner in whatever capacity that is, you know, if they get laid off, or I don't know. I'm just so over worrying about a man. I've been doing that my whole freaking life. And yeah, I'm okay to not have to worry about them anymore. I get great sleeps. No snoring, no them moving around at night, no getting up to go to the bathroom and I'm woken up by that. I get the best sleeps. I also started taking estrogen and progesterone. I've gone on HRT 4 months ago, and I am getting really good sleeps, which, by the way, I want to talk about something. I'm going to add that to my list. My boobs, I don't know what's going on, have like, I went for a bra fitting yesterday, which I'm going to talk about my bra because I love it, absolutely love it. No more underwire. And I used to be a double D, and I had a breast reduction in my 20s, but anyway, they grew back. But since the progesterone, the HRT, I am now a triple D. It's crazy. But I did find a bra that I love. That's another thing, you guys. I've given up wearing bras, hate them. I've given up wearing lots of makeup, given up false nails. I'm just living such an authentic, simple life, and I'm so much happier for it. I'll get into the things I bought in a minute. What's this? I have more time for things I want to do and for my friends, which is really important to me, to cultivate my friendships, nurture them. I don't feel guilty anymore if there's dirty dishes. Oh, the furnace just went off. I hope you can hear me better. Oh my God, I'll play this back and see if you can hear the furnace. I don't feel guilty anymore if I've got dirty dishes in the sink, or I didn't get a chance to vacuum. I've got so much dog hair in my house, it's ridiculous. Or if I'm not cooking. I used to cook, you guys, I used to have a menu on my fridge. I'm not lying about this. My kids can attest to this. I used to have a menu when I was a stay-at-home mom. I used to have a menu on my fridge with 26 items, and my kids and my husband at the time would rotate. They got to pick a meal every day, and every day I cooked a full-on meal. Like, we're talking like spaghetti con vongole, lasagna, roasted leg of lamb. Like, there was actual fantastic meals that I made every single night, and I'm so over it. I'm just so over it. Sometimes I'll just have soup and a sandwich, and I don't feel guilty about not cooking. So I do love that. I'm not, I already talked about that. I already talked about most of this stuff, but I think that the single most important thing is just living peacefully, for sure. Not worrying about anybody else, for sure. Doing what I want, when I want, with whoever I want, for sure, without having to check in. And just, I don't know, just having more time for me, finally. And listen, I'm not saying that it's better than being married or being in a relationship. I'm not saying that it's worse. I'm just saying it's different. And I'm right now in my life, I'm actually really valuing and embracing my solitude. And again, if and when someone comes into my life, then the way I look at that is, for somebody to come into my life and come into my space and infiltrate that, then their presence in my life has to feel better than my solitude, because my solitude feels really, really good, and I'm open to it for sure. I am open to it, and a lot of people think I'm so closed off to it, but I'm not. I'm open to it. It just needs to make sense, and it needs to feel better than my solitude. So that's that. Okay. I'm at 20 minutes. Okay. For some reason, if my videos go past 20 minutes, it takes me forever to load them. So I wanted to share some things that I purchased this week. And like I said, I'm really on sort of a buying freeze, but I needed these things. So what I needed, I'm tired. I used to have all my bras. First of all, they're like ancient. They're all ancient. Hardly ever buy bras. I'm going to New York on the 24th. And I'm going with my sons to visit my daughter who's down there. And I was putting together my wardrobe for New York, and I have this beautiful black, almost, it's like it was a gift. It wasn't a gift, actually. It was a friend who's a stylist, and she recommended I buy this. It's amazing. And it is like a cashmere cotton blend. It's super soft. Hardly ever wear it because I love it so much and I don't want to ruin it. Well, I pulled it out to take to New York, and I was using a shaver on it just to get some of the cat hair and dog hair and everything off of it that's always in my house, and I snagged it. I was so upset because it was an expensive sweater. I don't generally spend that much on my clothes. I mean, look at what I'm wearing right now. Like I really need to, see, I really should be shaving that. Anyway, whatever. This is so cozy. My sister gave me this for Christmas. Anyway, so I snagged it, and I thought, okay, I don't want to try and sew it because it could pucker. And I thought, well, it's just a tiny little hole. What if I maybe wear a black bra under it, and then it's a black turtleneck, then you can't see it. So I went to get my black bras, and I have only one black bra that is lace, because I hate wearing bras. That is lace, and you could see it, so it's not smooth. Anyway, so I bought from Victoria's Secret. I bought their bra. They have like a million tags on their bras, but I couldn't find a tag that actually says what kind of bra it is. So apparently I'm now a triple D, 34 triple D, but because I didn't have a 34 triple D, and I wanted that bra, I got the 36 double D. There's the code. I don't know if you guys... Is it? Oh, is it not focusing? Can it focus? Oh my God, I don't know. Anyway, there's the code. It's a great bra because there's no wire on it. It gives like a smooth, what do you call that? It's like a t-shirt material. So, oh my God, my boobs are out of control. Honestly, since I went on HRT. So it's smooth. I really love it. It comes high, so it hides all the underarm fat here. And it's got a thicker band, so also the back fat is concealed. And I don't know. Like, see, actually, there's a little bit of like spillage right here, but that's because I really should have gotten the triple D, and they didn't have it, and I really need this for New York. So I'm wearing it right now. And it's very, very comfortable, you guys, super comfy. And it is it's just a nice, seamless, soft, thick band. So that's my bra, Victoria's Secret. I don't know what it's called. I like, honestly, there's so many tags, and I hope that maybe what I showed you from the code, you'll be able to figure it out if you want to go and get one. But the most comfortable bra I have ever had. Number one. Number two, I don't wear a lot of makeup. I don't like to wear a lot of makeup. And this is my favorite. It is a little expensive, but people ask me all the time. This is my favorite. It's just a lip gloss, and it's NARS, and it's Turkish Delight. So that's my lip gloss. I don't like wearing lipstick. So that, I get asked a lot on my Instagram. By the way, you guys follow me on Instagram, Emily Moynes, or my staging is M's Staging House for my staging page. So that's the NARS. It is a little expensive, but that's the color if you want to maybe try and get it at a drugstore. And then the other thing I get asked about a lot is my skin, and why my skin, or how I get my skin to look so dewy. So again, I don't wear a matte foundation, and I try not to wear a lot of foundation. I feel like when you wear foundation and powder, it gets into all the creases, and then your skin looks even worse. So I try and do just a light foundation, which the brand I use, I don't have it here, it's L'Oreal. L'Oreal, what's it called? Oh my God, it's in a tube, a blue tube. Oh my God, what's it called? I have dementia. Oh, it's L'Oreal, and it's luminous, and it is, I don't remember the freaking name. I'm so sorry. Anyway, there's a pink tube and a blue tube. The pink is matte. The blue is gives a little bit of sheen to the skin, which I find when you're older, that's what you should be going for. And then I have this. This just came out. I feel like they discontinued this and just brought it back because I haven't been able to find it for a long time. This is also L'Oreal. It's the Lumi Glotion. And this is not a foundation. It just gives a really nice sheen to the skin. So I put it usually here, and then I dab a little bit like here, and some on my eyelids. And this is how I can also help to achieve like a nice healthy glow to the skin without wearing like a ton of makeup. Today, all I have on is this and concealer, and I put concealer just around here because I get redness around the nose, and I put a little bit of concealer under the eyes, and that's it. So these are my two favorite products right now. This drugstore brand I used to use back in the day when I was married to Mr. Frickin' Moneybags. I used to have the Flawless Finish by Charlotte Tilbury, which is so expensive. You can get this at Walmart, or in Canada, Shoppers Drug Mart. It's just really great for like a nice healthy glow. I put it up here sometimes too. So here, a little bit here, a little bit here. Basically where you get like a natural, like if you had a tan and you get like a little glow, that's where you would put it. So that is it. Told you about my bra, my lip gloss, and this because I get asked about these products. And no, I am not lonely, and I am really enjoying my solitude. But remember, what really helps is having community. And I've really learned this in the last 2 months, especially. Community, like-minded people. Like, I'm going to New York. It's family therapy that's happening in New York. And I am so looking forward to it because I've been doing this family therapy with lots of families that have loved ones that are struggling with mental illness. And I love every single family that comes onto those Zoom calls. It's like you become instantly bonded. There's no judgment. Everyone understands. There's help. There's people that share how they've been able to cope or deal with really difficult situations. And I've always believed in community, always. I come from a little village in Portugal, and that little village in Portugal, the community there, it's like everyone is family. And I think that is so important if you're struggling, if you're lonely, if you just feel like you're alone, if you feel helpless, if you feel hopeless in situations. Just having your little tribe that is there to lift you up, is there that you can relate to, that you can feel like you're part of something, is so important. And maybe that's why I don't feel lonely, and I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I have a great support system with my community of friends, and then my new community recently that I have gotten to know through our Zoom family support calls with a psychologist. And yeah, I think that that is so important because, again, you feel like you belong to something. You have unconditional support. There is no judgment, and you don't feel alone. And that's really important. So try and find your community. join something. My son runs these groups, adventures all over the world. And the biggest takeaway that I have witnessed when I go on these trips with him is I find that the people on these trips are all so like-minded that those people go into these trips total strangers and come out being best friends. That's, again, is a sense of community. People that are gathering for like-minded things in life that make them feel like they belong, and it's like an instant connection, an instant bond. So find your community. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna finish packing for my staging job, and I'll see you again probably, I don't know, next week.